Hi guys,
Hello, people.
I'm Milena,
Lola.
and we're watching Sopranos, episode 7.
7.
Yes, season 5.
How are we going through? This is halfway through. Then we started playing like yesterday, so where?
What a nice comment to say before playing an episode.
You had an episode
Well,
yesterday.
yes, and it was about Carmela.
Was
who,
it?
Yes, she was with
yes.
a boyfriend.
It's like,
with a-
boy.
Definitely not a boy. She was with
Okay.
a teacher, and the teacher broke up with her, and then she... while before that, she wanted AJ to profit from a relationship with it.
Yeah,
the
well,
teacher.
might as well. Again, all the relationships between those are transactional.
Yes.
So,
She slept with a gun after watching Tony's face.
yeah.
And
We had
AJ's
the whole-
living with her now.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
We had the
much.
whole thing with Tony B.
Yes.
I'm very curious to see Tony B now that he has accepted going back into
Why?
his life. Why?
Yes, honestly. What has that?
Well, because like we know him
What
not
do you
in this
expect?
job. I don't know, like I just want to see how he acts, because all the guys that we have in Tony's group are just very, what I would describe, losers.
I expect him to be the one.
To be one as well. Well, that's what I want to see.
I honestly... I think his story is pretty much finished.
Dead man walking.
No, but I think the main point of his story has ended in the last episode, meaning that he was different and he was struggling, wanting this, wanting that,
Yeah.
felt the money again,
Yeah.
felt the easier route again,
Yeah.
and decided at the end
To
of the
take it.
episode to take it.
Yeah.
So, and we saw again another, with taking the money and with accepting that side of himself, we saw a violent man.
Yeah.
So to me, what I expect to see now is him being the same as every other of them. I don't think he's gonna struggle in this world. You know what I mean?
No, I wasn't talking about struggling as much as I want to see how he behaved towards Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Does he fall more in line? Does he have bigger ambitions?
Mm-hmm.
Does he, things more of that nature? Because I think he's a very interesting character, and he has a history with Tony, and so I'm very curious what this is all gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me excited about the storyline. Even though again I was it made me sad that this is the path that he has chosen to go down. But it was expected, yeah.
That's what we said.
Disappointing, but not surprising.
It was that was the storyline,
Yeah.
disappointing storyline,
Yeah.
but again, expected one,
Yeah.
easier route.
Yeah.
Again.
The episode is called In Camelot. So Arthur, Merlin, Camelot. I think we're gonna connect it to the episode somehow. I guess we'll see. We might as well play this.
Yes.
And see.
Don't tell me we're fighting all the time. I try to get along.
You can't just say whatever comes to mind, Tony. You're a fucking horrible. No cheese for Sophia.
These kids seem to like you, sort of.
I leave them completely free to do whatever they want. How else are they gonna learn?
Do you know that you have a child? Another child. You know what I mean?
No.
Somewhere in the world.
Can we get a dog, please? I'll walk him, and I'll pick up the poo and pee.
Pete, don't return the wear.
We had a dog. Remember? He got worms though. Had to move to the country.
Stupid was gassed from him. Daddy took him to the pound.
Yeah.
He used to drag his ass on the carpet till he scratched himself.
Yes.
He's so cynical about everything else.
Father told me he took him to live on a farm.
What they always say. The same farm must have 17 billion dollars. Dog shit up to the rafters.
Cousin Josephine ain't good yet died.
What happened?
I think it was a heart attack. Listen, as long as we're here, I was gonna go visit my father. If you'd like to join me.
5 hours they let me out for these funerals. I gotta spend it being Mortland. It's a beautiful day.
Excuse me, I thought you might want to go pay your respects to your brother.
By crying to a chunk of marble, I can pay my respects from the after party.
After the party?
It's those uptake inhibitors. We were skeptical at first. Then his mood really improved.
His mood did improve because usually when it's a funeral, he's thinking about his own demise that's coming up. This might be an episode about Tony's father.
Excuse me. Hi.
Oh, hello.
You know my mother?
You're Anthony. Oh, my God.
Do we know each other?
Oh, we met once. I was a friend of your father's.
What type of friend?
Oh.
Friend.
You're the lady from Bamberger's, from the fur department.
Fran Feldstein.
You knew about her?
Yeah, I miss your father sometimes.
Let's say a loving mother
Foolish.
on Livia's.
Johnny was very proud of you. You were very special to him.
Sure you want to.
You know, Johnny told me if I ever needed anything, I should always call his son.
What do you need?
Not a thing.
Fran, Felton. That was class.
You got great legs for an old broad.
I was in love with that woman. She was the reason I never married. I wanted to propose. I had the ring all picked up.
So what, she turned you down?
I hesitated. How could I bring this life we live on a woman? Anyway, she took it as a sign I wasn't interested. Your father shows up. Side divorce suit. 2-inch lapel. That was that. She never knew my feelings. What could I do? For years, I suffered in silence. Oh, Angie, come on, sing us a song.
His mood has really improved, but this is a funeral.
Mario, remember?
It's not like he suffers, yeah, because of the people who die.
It was a dream come true. I was making money, I had the Beamer, the actress girlfriend. Best of all, I had all the flake I needed to keep me churning out that snappy dialogue for Corbin Burnson. Before too long, I discovered heroin. Then things really started to fall apart. Got so bad that I blew a deadline on the Nash Bridges, got my ass fired, I didn't work for 18 months. By the grace of God, I got myself into a rehab program in Pennsylvania. With the help of some good friends that I made there, I got through it. It was my man Chris, everybody. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about taking a moral inventory.
So we talked for like an hour. Turns out that they had a thing. Her and my old man. Right up till he died.
It's interesting that that guy was like a writer.
Do you think that justifies his infidelity?
She drove him into that woman's arms, my mother. To all his women.
Sure, Carmela did you as well.
I'll tell you one thing, all the years she was rotting in that grave, I can't remember once my mother going to visit him.
It's possible your mother found it very painful.
Oh, poor her.
What was it like sitting
for
there
her,
with
for
Fran?
you.
Are you attracted to her?
Come on, she's old enough to be my mother. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's an expression. I'm not gonna fuck my mother.
I figured, why not move back to Jersey? Clean slate. It's better. My new agent, next week he's got me set up to meet Dick Wolf's guy.
I seen Dick Wolf at Rayo's one.
Don't be friends with him, he's gonna drag you down.
Not my shit, how are you doing?
Good, you know, working the program.
Oh yeah?
I had some fucking wine, alright? Is that what you want to hear?
Christopher, when was this?
I don't know. My fiance was in a car crash. I didn't even like it. I went to a meeting the next day.
But no slip since then.
I've been sober and I've been high. Sober's better.
You know you can call me anytime, right?
What do you got, a date?
I gotta meet somebody, a friend.
What is he doing?
Corrado, what's up?
There's a funeral I need to attend. I want you to call the feds. Vincent Patronella.
Is he a relative? You know the rules.
He's my niece's godfather. I think I met him at a barbecue once for the bicentennial.
All they can say is no.
Is he looking for ways to exit the
Yeah.
house by going to funerals?
Your father used to bring me flowers all the time. Flowers and lingerie.
Is this like his next try with some mother? Like this is a new mother figure?
What's this? Oh, the kid and the dog.
Oh, my son, Bruce. He married an Israeli girl. He's
Son?
a food service director with LL.
No, the dog.
Oh,
He was a gift from your dad.
What?
I thought the kid was maybe
Oh,
his
this
like
is my
pet.
fucking dog. Excuse me, I'm sorry. This was my dog. His name was Tippy.
Your dad never said.
I think it's better than
I'm
like
gonna give the dog away.
What? Bruce loved him.
my mother made him.
He had him for almost 10 years till he moved to Tel Aviv.
Holy shit, look at Hesh. George Gershwin.
He was a whoremaster. And she, you know, he screwed me out of my retirement money. Against
Hesh?
your dad's wishes, by the way.
What are you talking about?
I can believe that with
Oh,
Hesh.
come on, what happened?
Your dad owned a racetrack. Johnny always told me his piece would go to me. Couldn't put me in his will, obviously. I called Hesh. He sent me $500.
That's it? Jesus Christ, I wish you'd called me.
Bruce sends me money occasionally.
It's my father's wishes.
Seriously, I'm sorry.
Do you think it's true?
I
I
went.
shouldn't have even brought it up.
The second she started talking,
Yeah.
I remember when she
Right.
said like your father told me that like if I ever need something, I should
call
call
you.
your
So
son.
I saw my Uncle June. Just say hello.
Junior?
I don't know if you know it, but he was always a little hot for you.
He was practically a stalker.
He said he suffered in silence.
Suffered in silence. He used to skulk outside my building all hours.
This is what you say as well. Suffer in silence, but you don't.
Livia about me and Johnny. So tell me about your women. Your wife, what she like?
I don't know. What's to tell? Good woman, good mother. Marriage hit the rocks. That's all. What are you gonna do?
I don't even think he knows anything to say about Carmela.
She's an art dealer. Very sophisticated.
I don't like this friendship for you guys.
Man, I'm so glad you called. You really needed this.
There's nothing you want to talk about? I was honest with you the other night. Well, you're telling me you're not using?
What?
You ran out of IHOP like you were on fire. We're jonesing like a motherfucker.
I was meeting a girl. We were going to the track, the Meadowlands. I am totally clean and sober.
I was positive you fucking slipped.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your concern.
So,
Let me look out for her, so I sent her some money, which is a hell of a lot more than anybody else did.
Oh, then all these years you decided to keep his end for yourself.
Oh, she gave her some trouble. Huh? Besides, I thought I had it coming. With Philly Atato in the can for 20 years, who do you think's been running that place?
What about my share? All those years I never saw a dime. You're my father's friend, Hesh. My friend.
Oh, I'm such a good friend. How come I never see you?
Well, despite how you feel, my father loved this woman.
Something about her always rubbed me the wrong way.
Maybe because she was rubbing him and not you.
How long you know me, Bub, huh? Mr. Pachinello was last week. This is a different one.
funeral.
Yes, I'm aware he's been to 2 funerals in a month. The deceased in question now, Mrs. Crilly, was the sister of Mr. Soprano's cousin. So she's not a blood relative per se. Are we quibbling now? For God's sake, the man wants to pay his respects. 5 hours. It's not a Hawaiian vacation. He'll attend the church service, then pay his respects to the family afterwards.
You're worth every fucking cent.
He's going out.
They're gonna have Scottish bagpipes at the funeral. It should be interesting.
I was thinking I'd go check out that Indian casino, play some poker.
If you want in a real game, I'll hook you up.
Don't.
High stakes, exclusive clientele.
Playing cards, games of chance. I never really dug it before. I was never that good at math, but there's something about that excitement that's so...
Addicting?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What is wrong?
You
I mean,
replace one
what, that's
addicting
gonna
thing
cry?
with another.
I fucked up again. My super came by this morning, fucking corker on the toilet. He had some weed.
You have got to call someone before you use, not after.
I know. I just wanted to see if I could get high like a normal person.
You're not normal. Neither of us are. You maniac.
$625K for the track, plus all that land.
Oh, he gets 150. 25% comes from you. The other 75% of that comes from Ash.
You
The
got
other
some
guy?
balls, kid. I'll give you that much. You'll give me what I tell you to give me.
All the time.
This ain't the 70s. And I'm not a kid. Relax, it's an expression. Here's another expression. You got 5 days to give me my money.
Billy, he's a boss.
Jersey? Come on, huh? Well, I talked to Phil and Hesh about the racetrack.
How bad did they bullshit you?
Well, actually, we straightened it all out. So when the sale goes through, you're looking at a nice piece of change.
You're kidding. You were
Which will
ignoring my hand.
substitute mother.
Check out the initials.
JFK.
JFK? Holy shit. This was his? You know, I have a hat of his, a captain's hat I bought at an auction.
We had a little thing.
When he was president?
March, 61.
Says she's
20
losing
foot
her
bed
mind.
pigs. I was at the Copa with a girlfriend. I'm wearing a new sable, and we meet Lim Billings. Now, he has a limo. We figure, oh, what the hell? Yeah. So we go over, and he tells us he's taking us to the presidential suite. I'm looking around, and I glance across the room, and suddenly, I am locking eyes with John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Yeah, I mean, he comes over. He is a perfect gentleman. But finally, at the end of the night, now get this. In the interests of national security, he says, he needs me to stay. Make sure I'm not working for the Russians.
He said that?
Some line, huh?
Is this like from some type of like movie or like
Yeah,
show
what was he like?
or?
Wonderful.
So you to an item, or...?
No, he called. After all, this man was the leader of the free world. And, you know, we had something special, though. Crazy passion. That was something your mother never understood. When you're married to a powerful man, you damn well better make him feel powerful.
My mother? Listen, I think I'm gonna skip the coffee. I got a meeting in the city. Consider this an advance. Get your phone turned on and pay your rent. 800, and you'll know.
Can't believe you dragged him here. I mean, of course I can't believe.
Cowboys?
Yeah.
Real Indians.
So how you doing? You want to take off?
I'm getting killed here.
I gotta go. I'm fucking shot. I'll call you tomorrow.
Oh, the dog. Unpack that. Unpack it.
Unpack.
Pack it.
Gotta order some flowers. It's out from the dry cleaners. This kid died. Drowned in a jacuzzi. He's 7 years old. You believe it? Fucking tragedy.
Can I go? Yes. A 7-year-old child drowned. He's thinking I'm gonna miss my going out.
Harold Melwin.
It's me. I got another funeral. A kid.
Corrado.
Come on, my balls. I gotta get out of this house. I'm going fucking star crazy.
7th Street and an hour.
It was the house 57.
1,000?
Insane. God.
What are you, fucking crazy?
Fine, crazy. I'm good for it. I'm up for the stick wolf thing. If I get on staff, it's like a month's salary.
Well, how about this fucking one?
Hey, you think you can spot me for a while? I got some child support too.
I'll cover this. I'll give you $3,000 for incidentals. That's 60,000 altogether.
I've only been up 2 days. I can still add.
Good. Then add 2 points every week till I'm paying him fucking full.
You're charging me, Vig?
On top of the principal, it's compounded if you're late. That's $1,200 1 week from today. This is your problem. I will not fucking enable you.
Oh, where you go? Hey, Tony, I gotta meet John down at the restaurant.
Running.
Fucking cocksucker.
Running. Running. Heels 40? It's a full line.
You want me, you fucking cocksucker? Where's my fucking money?
I'll get it. My neck, Tony.
What do you think, I'm an asshole?
No.
Huh?
No,
I can't hear you.
no, please. Oh.
What did he think was gonna happen when he ran away from the boss?
Literally.
Take her upstairs, Andy.
They're insane people.
Chicken's nice and spicy, huh?
Hey, what the fuck? Where you been?
Working, man. I got those TV pitch meetings. I was gonna call you.
Yeah, so why didn't you? Where's my money?
I don't have it yet.
Like you went to AC.
I have a meeting next week with Rene Bolsay, Dick Wolf's right-hand guy. He likes my stuff. He told my agent. I'm gonna be on staff.
I got out of that business because people fuck you over.
I swear on all that's holy. I'll have your money next week.
That wasn't the deal. I'll be back tomorrow. Don't make me a jerk off.
I'm literally just dragging him down as
Damn,
well.
I'm happy. My new kicks, Bottega Veneta, marked down to only $600.
Thought you were paying your phone bill.
I should have, I know. It's been so long since I've been able to treat myself.
Yeah, good morning to you too. You got it? Jesus. You are a fucking trip. This is fucking Pulp Fiction. Am I supposed to be afraid?
I would
didn't
be.
See it. You're really being a prick, huh? I told you, I need more time. I don't have the money. What could you possibly do to me that I haven't already been through?
I'm positive we'll think of something.
Why would you say this? What could you possibly do to me?
And 66 years after taking
It's
those
always
same
shocking when I
lives,
see them,
till
these
death do
people.
us part, finally succumbing to irredeemable.
I can look at
The enormity, how much they went through together, seeing their children grow, and looking joyfully on as their grandchildren had children. Good times and bad, but through it all, one thing remained constant. They had each other. It was Nicolo's love for Concetta that made him leave this earth a mere 15 days after she left him. Let us join together in prayer. Bless her and bless us.
Oh, this fucking shit. What's the point?
It's gold-plated.
Melt it down, man.
Emmy.
Look, I told you $15.
Oh, fuck, Nick, come on.
God.
From your friend. All 1,200.
Give you a hard time?
Hardest thing was keeping him awake. He's hitting the vein, nodding out.
Son of a fucking bitch.
Do you feel better about yourself now?
Cheers.
Yeah, this is the money from the closing. The racetrack. It's 150 grand.
That's great. It's a couple months before he died. We stopped at a liquor store. He had to pee. I needed some cigarettes. And anyway, the man behind the counter was
She's gonna
blind.
say something that.
Dad looks at him.
Oh, wait a minute. This is after my dad got sick?
Yeah.
My dad caught emphysema and you kept smoking?
He didn't mind.
You could barely breathe. We had the oxygen tent set up right in the house. I mean, Jesus Christ, even my mother quit.
I offered to stop. I mean, and he didn't want me to. He was fine with it, really. Water chestnuts, wrapped in bacon.
Delicious. It's the hat I told you about. JFK.
My goodness. Look at this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
That's like what Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, uncomfortable.
You. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
I met with the Dick Wolf guy. They hired some kid from Yale. Plus, now the money I owe you, my ex-fucking wife.
How many times have you shown up?
5, 6. I thought I had it under control. I lost it.
Stupid fuck. You were doing so good, now you fucked it all up.
Where do you get the right?
We were in the program. You're gonna use, why didn't you call your sponsor?
I couldn't get him.
So why the fuck didn't you call me?
I don't fucking live with my mistress. I mean, his fucking slippers. When I was, 16 years old, and son's age. I came home from school and there was this note from my Aunt Quinn. My mother had been pregnant with another kid after my sister Barbara. Change of life baby, they called it. Well, she started bleeding. I was supposed to find my father and get him over there ASAP. I called every number I had. I left messages all over town. And finally, that night, at 10 o'clock, called me back.
Anthony, what's the matter? Mom's in the hospital. She's bleeding. The baby.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit. But I'm gonna get over to the hospital right away.
Came and got me the next morning.
No, you're okay. Your life is just so wonderful and okay. Where were you last night? With that whore. What do you take me for, an idiot?
No, Lee, that's not true. I picked up Anthony from school. We went to the game. I swear to God, Lee, the car broke down.
He was a
The
saint.
timing belt. We had to stay at Cousin Jimmy's. I don't know, when we got home and saw that note, I was worried sick.
Saw that now.
Ask Anthony, you don't believe me.
We were at Cousin Jimmy's, Ma.
She could have fucking died. From a miscarriage. Fuck her.
Was there any blame on his part? This man you emulate, the lies, the betrayals with other women? This is very important. Your mother had her faults. But after all this time, what should we do with the old woman? Have an auto-da-fe? Burn her at the stake? You need to forgive her and move on.
She made my father give my dog away.
I thought your father was a big, tough guy.
Probably didn't want to hear her bullshit anymore. Gave my dog away to his girlfriend's kid. Big fucking deal. It was up to her. She would have had it killed.
All right, thanks.
She cannot view his father
Book value
in any bad
17
light.
grand. I'll knock that off the principal.
I can't watch this. This
I fucking love this car.
So you'll get another one. I'll see you when you get out of rehab. We'll figure out the rest of the payments. There's no chemical solution to a spiritual problem.
My life is only death. I'm living in a grave. I beat prison, and for what? I have no children. Would somebody please explain this to me?
Where's your dad go, Mom?
Nice, huh?
Nice. She was JFK's girlfriend for like 3 years.
No shit.
Right, I remember hearing about her.
Fucking knockout. Beautiful, classy. And I went to the White House on the weekends when his wife was out of town.
Tony is looking at him like, sure.
Guys.
I find it fascinating that this is like season 5, episode 7. And like this is, I feel like the first review that I'm gonna talk about Tony's father somehow.
Yeah, we don't...
Is that not so interesting?
Yeah, honestly, we don't... he's like a figment of our imagination. We haven't seen much of him. We haven't... It's only some things that we heard of. But again, because he died, it's just like the... And that is given in this episode. That is what this episode explored as well. Again, it is how our characters feel about him, but like all is that affected from other things, if you understand what I mean. Or I said the sentence that like...
I am uncertain. I think you're gonna have to repeat this.
For example...
Like we're gathering things about him from...
Feelings, either Tony's or like Livia's, but that is also affected by Tony's feelings about Livia as well, and himself, if you understand.
I mean, I think
like it's not because he is dead now. It's not any straight facts, because like the way he talked during this whole episode about his father and like how he had this loving relationship with this woman, things like that, and then later we get a bit of scene of how his father, let's say, actually was.
Yeah,
you know, but like he cannot accept it.
No,
and he pushes it away and pretends it's not
the blame falls back onto Livia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like even the things, sorry, if you have something smarter to say.
No. Go.
It's much better than what I'm about to say. Because like I think even like putting any blame of his father would be also putting some blame of himself as well.
I agree.
In many things, and he does not want to do that.
I agree, and I think again it's his whole life was shaped by having to view his father as like the strong and silent type, like viewing the men in general view themselves as things that they are not in any type of way. Like you saw Junior, for example, in this episode talking about how like how he really was in love with the woman, Fran, is that her name? Whatever her name is. How he was really in love with the woman, but like he took this, he like felt it's no life for a woman to have, so like I'm gonna push her away. Oh, like I'm such a knight in shining armor.
And
so
never
like,
found
I
out.
suffered in silence.
Yeah.
And her version of events, which I completely believe, is like he was quite literally a stalker. So like he wanted her and she probably didn't want him. So like he created this whole story in his mind where like he is this tortured figure. And I think that is what each and every single man of this show does, really.
And unfortunately, she never found out. Otherwise, she would definitely want to be with him.
Yeah, basically. Like I sacrificed myself. And so like... this is what they need to believe.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to
live. Yes, and Tony said, my mother basically pushed him into the arms of this other woman.
It's always like, it's always Livia's fault. She pushed him into the arms of this,
but like, did
this
Carmela
woman.
Push you?
She pushed, she made him give up the dog. Like, she is the one that did all of this. And
nobody even said that. You know what I mean? That, like that, when he said it, that was a fascinating thing.
It was a similar thing to when Chris said, like, your dad was shot, bring the TV in.
Yes.
He was shot, bring the TV in for me to watch cartoons on.
Yeah.
No one has spoken this sentence, you know? But like, that's how your mind is gonna warp these things to fit the image that you want your head to have.
Yeah.
I legitimately think Chris, of all of them, is maybe the only one that has it in his mind that like these things are lies. But like, he still goes with it because again, you kind of have to in this environment. But like, it's all bullshit. Like their whole worldview is bullshit.
So you don't think like Tony has it in mind that like it's bullshit?
I think he does, but I think he is far gone in some ways. Not far gone, but like because he was going through these things like in his mind. He was telling Melfi, like my mother could have died. You know, he was retelling this story, but like he went to fuck him.
Yes, but like that's what it's like a decision that he makes. You know, like you can see in that moment in his face that he understands. You know, and even Melfi is talking to him, and I think he understands what she's talking to him, but he doesn't. It's like a decision in his mind. No, I'm gonna accept this version of the truth, and I'm gonna say this version of the truth like it is. Just like with the boys at the end of the episode where he is talking
Yeah,
about
suddenly she was
like
3
she told
years
this,
in the relationship
yeah,
with...
she told him this story that like they had a night together or whatever, you know, and like they have not had anything other, but like to fit to he accept this version because like he wants to believe in this version, you know.
Yeah, he wants to believe
because like
in
his
this.
father was with this woman, you know.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I don't know, maybe by the end, but like I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna ever accept it, confront it, you know. I think this is the version of events that he needs to believe. Things can turn out in different ways. I really don't know. That's
really
a very,
don't know.
It's a very interesting story for me. But like
because
I think
could see both scenarios.
Yeah.
I could see a scenario where at one point he does accept something, you know.
Yeah.
But I could see the scenario where he does not, because there would be a list that he would have to accept for himself.
Yeah.
If he would to accept one thing about his father or his mother or whoever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, like if his father was such a saint and such a good man that like his wife was such a horrible woman that had to push him away to other women, like you would have to think about yourself. Were you pushed away?
Yeah.
So like if you would accept it, like your father's that like Livia didn't push your father into the arms of the other woman, you know.
Yeah.
Like you would have to accept it, like you also made a decision and are making it every single step.
Yeah, but like again,
but that's just like one small thing. Like
yeah, I mean,
he have so many others.
He had his reasonings as to why he was going outside of marriage. He was like, I can speak to her. She listens to me. Like sure, that's what's happening here. Again, it's the same thing. Like he cannot view his father in such a way. He simply cannot. Similarly, he's gonna, and again, Olivia, no saint, literally no saint. Like he should hate her completely. But your father was not a father.
But like technically,
your father was.
Livia did the same thing.
By the end, yeah.
You know, because like we see her now in the scene in the hospital with like how she suffered and how she reacted. Like you can see that she's in pain, but that like Johnny inflicted her pain, and like the fact that like he has a mistress on the side, you know, it's like that is very hurtful to her. And at the end, so like that could be her whole life. Yeah. And at the end, she's talking about how he was a saint.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Of course. I mean, you're going to remember things how you want to remember them. You know, not how they actually were.
So like that's similar to something that like Tony is doing.
Yeah, completely similar to what Tony is doing. And again, he is putting all the blame onto Livia. And Livia does hold a lot of blame and should hold a lot of blame. But like, again, it's a different type of dynamic that he has towards Livia and towards his dad. I think it connects to Anthony Jr. I think like there was a similar thing like when Anthony Jr. was like mad at Carmela. I think Tony like made a comment about like why Anthony was gonna be mad or something about Carmela. Something it's because like you're his mom or like you're the mother or she's the mother or whatever. Like I can't remember the point where he said it, but there was something about, was it Tony that said that? About like why Anthony Jr. was gonna be more resentful towards Carmela. Something about like,
I think that was Tony who said
right,
it. Because,
remember
like,
that moment? I can't remember what it was.
But I didn't remember exactly what he said.
No, I can't remember what it was, but it was something about how like how Anthony is, you know, he has a different relationship with Carmela, and it's easier to be madder at the person that was, let's say, there and present and abusive to you. And again, you should be completely mad. But your father did in no way protect you, was not there, like made you lie to your own mother in a hospital bed, like made you complicit in this. Abuse is not always what Livia did to him. That was all complete abuse, but like his father also abused him in many ways as well, especially in the way that he also turned out. Him not accepting that part, him not accepting who his father was, is what's preventing him from being able to like be a better man, be a different man.
That I agree. Change.
Yeah.
Do differently towards his children as well, you know, because like
he does what his father does.
Exactly. Very similar what his father is doing.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, is he a bit different? Maybe. You know what I mean? But he does the same mistakes, and he doesn't view those things as mistakes because he doesn't accept that his father also made those mistakes.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
And he is respecting him and putting him on a high pedestal because he wants to believe that, because that is also what he wants to believe about himself as well.
Yeah, and he needs to, like, he is changing this story about this woman there at the end for, like, his father to appear like this man that had this guma who was, like, Kennedy's girlfriend as well. Like, literally, it's just, like, he needs to
that's why I agree.
Make this image.
That's why I agree when you said, like, that, like, I don't know if he will ever accept, but, like, if he will, where does that take us?
I don't know.
So, like, I would
don't
love
know
if he would to accept some things, because, like, those things are right in front of his face. He literally chooses to close his eyes.
Yeah.
But, like, if he was to accept those things, he would have to accept so many things about himself. And you see that Melfi is struggling with that because she's really trying to make him understand some things, accept some things, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, if he would, how would that change the direction of his life?
That'd be so interesting to me to, like, view that. And I can, like, I don't
think
again,
it's
I don't, no, me neither, because I don't think this is a story of a man that, like,
who changes.
No.
Exactly.
And so, like, that's why, like, I simply cannot believe.
Again, I still think no matter how different they are and how different their stories are, we have watched Tony in 3 different stages. As Anthony, as a kid, as Chris, who just got into the business and is trying to be better and better and prove himself, and as Tony. And every single one of those has an abuser.
Yeah.
And is abusing the others around him. And we saw in this episode Chris's, in some ways, behavior.
Abusing others?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, not anybody related to him, not, you know, but
yeah,
like...
no, but, like, just, again, being cancer to your environment.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we didn't even talk about in the one before that episode, were with Adriana, because, I mean, the things were happening with Adriana, so, like, but, like, they removed the mole that was, like, cancerous. You know, like, it was, you know, that's, like, fine, but, like, again, the show is showing you what type of a cancer he is, what type of a cancer he exudes.
To everybody around
to his
him.
environment, yeah. And yeah, I mean, Chris is just, like, in many ways, Tony just years before.
Exactly.
You know? Chris in this episode, I think, it was... The storyline here made a lot of sense. Like this, he had, like, this friend who's also, like, in alcohol, drug recovering program with him, who was, let's say, being harsh on him. Not harsh, he was just, like, holding him accountable, let's say, for the fact he's, like, drinking and or using again. And so, like, it seemed that he almost did it in a non-aware way, maybe. Like, it didn't seem like, oh, I'm gonna bring you down now with me, you know? But, like, yeah, that he was doing what he did to his friend, just, like, giving him this money to gamble, which is just another form of addiction. You literally just, like, replaced one addiction with another addiction.
I completely agree, because, like, throughout the whole episode, I thought something bad. I thought the guy is gonna fall down, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't... by his own choices, like, wants to gamble, wants to do this, but, like, I didn't, because, like, we didn't have any changes in Chris's reaction or anything that provoked any type of anger, jealousy, anything in him, you know, like, I didn't think that, like, he is punishing him at any point, you know?
Yeah.
It seems like Chris is doing what Chris is doing, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, but I just think, like, it has to be pointed. The fact that this guy is, like, also, let's say, clean, and he is an actor / writer, and, like, we knew that Chris wanted to, like, make it in this world. And so, like, in my mind, I thought, like, there is no way that he is gonna be able to watch someone make it in this life that has gone through hell, came out on the other side, and, like, now is gonna succeed as a writer, whatever. So, like, he maybe unconsciously, but, like, I feel like it was a part of him that wanted to drag him down, because that was what Chris cannot be. And so, like, he borrowed him money. He gave him what the fuck is it called? Like, the points that he needs to return to Chris in the mafia world. I'm fucking know.
Yeah.
He beat him up.
I completely agree with you. you know?
Yeah.
Completely agree with you that like the storyline has to be put there with all those contexts for us to realize why exactly Chris is doing it.
Yeah.
But I also think Chris is, again, a cancer to his environment, you know,
Yeah.
to everybody around him, even to a friend, let's say,
Yeah.
you know, who is there for him in some ways, you know,
Yeah.
with the recovery,
Yeah.
whatever, you know,
sobriety
and all of that,
Yeah.
you know, that like Chris knew that he would not be able to give him money.
Yeah.
He knew when he borrowed him that money, you know?
Yeah.
But that is something that Chris does. That is something that Tony does.
Yeah.
That is something that they do, you know?
Yeah.
Chris doesn't have friends.
I think it was similar. It was a similar storyline, maybe to
Tony.
Was that Was that in season 1 or season 2?
Yeah.
When he gave the money to the guy that was a gambler who was a father.
Exactly. Because like Chris doesn't know how to have friends.
Yeah.
You know, because like if Chris was his friend, Chris would tell him no, do not. He would not invite him to the gambling thing. He would push him out. But like this is a normal life to Chris. You know.
I mean, how does he know how to be a friend? The friends that he has, or the family that he has around him.
Exactly.
His family that would do this exact same thing to him.
Exactly.
You know, if they would benefit from it. So like he cannot be a good friend. He cannot be a good partner. He cannot be anything in there.
Yeah. So I think Chris would do it regardlessly.
Yeah.
Of if this guy was a writer or not a writer.
Yeah.
It's just like another point there. You know?
Yeah, I agree. Just another thing to come back to Tony, and this is so unimportant, but like, and I don't know if this is even correct, but like I didn't agree with Melfi when she was like talking about Olivia and like you need to forgive her and move on. I understand like in therapy terms maybe forgive, but like I don't think some things can be forgiven. I think like you have to like accept that it happened the way that it happened for some reason, but like forgive. Do you really have to forgive to be able to move on?
I mean, I always hear that. Honestly, I don't know. I have not been in similar situations, you know? But like I always hear that, not in just like this show, but like many other shows, you know?
Yeah.
And not just like in shows. I hear that like other people's experiences as well. That's often a process in therapy when you are going through a grief or not getting over, but like accepting the abuse that happened or like I don't know the words that I want to use, but like I often heard that like I
that a part of it is forgiveness.
That's the big part. It's forgiveness for yourself to be able to move on. But I agree with you. I don't understand that part.
I don't know, because like some things like to me are unforgivable.
Yeah.
You know, and so like, and I mean I don't know. Again, this is just like how I view things, and maybe that's not the professional. I think some people maybe would need to. You know, I think for some people they would need to forgive this other person to be able to move on, but I don't think that's necessary for all people.
Yeah.
Like I think you can be able to move on without forgiving this person. You know, like if someone has abused you as a child.
No, I completely
I mean, again, I think you need to unpack, and like I remember I read a comment recently about this, and like I know what the person meant, because like we were talking about like how we always talk about Livia or whoever and like how they were awful, but like, and we discussed Tony or like Chris with at some points, let's say, compassion, understanding because of things that they have gone through, and they're like, Livia, I'm sure, has gone through things, and like I
understand. Yeah,
yes, and I always think that. I really always think that. But just like if I was also following Anthony Jr.'s storyline right now, and like Tony is his father, whatever happened to Tony in his own childhood does not absolve Tony of what he is doing to Anthony Jr. You know, I mean, which is why I hate Tony anytime he interacts with Anthony Jr.
I completely agree.
So like, I do have it in my mind that she also, I think she mentioned like her family, father, whoever was also very abusive. I think she has went through a hard life. I think her husband was horrible as well.
And like, she tried to kill her son.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like how, like,
and was
all of these things, it's all true.
The same thing how That's why I think that Tony is a perfect character. Like, I have never seen more perfect character, just because we don't see one layer of him. We see millions.
Yeah.
Basically, we see him abusing his children. We see how he treats his wife. We see the emotional side in him constantly.
Yeah.
We saw the relationship with him and Livia, and now even like glimpses of his own father and how he was abused by him, you know.
Yeah.
But we also see the relationship with Chris and what he is to Chris, the same thing that, like, let's say Livia was to him.
Yeah.
You know, and that is so fascinating, honestly.
Yeah.
But like, again, whatever happened to him in his childhood, that does not
allow
no
to do all
makes
this,
him
to become this person.
Very good character.
Yeah.
But makes him
I mean,
at this point in
that's
his
what
life
we
a
talk
horrible
about
human
always.
being.
But like with Livia, we can't talk about it more because we don't know. But like,
No,
I'm
we
don't
she's
gone
know.
through things. It
Yeah.
just like doesn't. It still doesn't.
Exactly.
It doesn't change anything about the
Exactly.
things that we say.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Exactly.
You know.
Because we only saw that like one layer of her. So like.
Yeah.
You know how she was after her kids have grown up.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was my point. I don't know if you need to forgive. Like,
I
I
completely agree with you, but like I also don't know much about it, you know.
No, me neither. I wonder. I really wonder, like.
And I have heard it millions of times.
Me too.
You know, like I've heard it so many times.
And like, I can understand it, like closure.
But like it's always
like
like
you need
closure
to like
for yourself.
close it to let it go. Yes, you forgive for yourself.
Exactly.
You forgive for yourself, but like I think
accepting that happened and like that you're a better off without that person, and like that it's fine now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That like that person, I'm sure, has gone through things, let's say, and that's why they like it was never about you. Like the abuse was never about you, and it was more about them. Like knowing that and accepting that, giving yourself closure. I don't know why it has to like. I'm sure, and for different cases, it can involve forgiveness of this other person. If the other person is like remorseful, if the other person like is not remorseful, who the fuck are you forgiving?
Yes,
you know
but
what I
like
mean?
it's often even forgiveness after they die.
Yeah.
In this case scenario, it's forgiveness after Livia is not dead, is not alive. You know.
Yeah.
So like,
I
has
mean, again,
nothing
I think
to do with her.
Everyone needs, I guess, different types of closure.
I agree. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I'm not
I just like
an expert in this.
No, but that's just like an interesting thing to me.
I completely
because like
agree.
I feel like I would not give forgiveness, but I would be able to move on. Again, I don't know.
You don't know. You
I
can't
have
say
never
that.
been in this type of
Literally,
situation.
you can't say that.
I've never been in this
Yeah,
type of
you
situation.
literally can't say that. Like you're saying that with clear head,
Yeah.
watching the show. You know,
Yeah.
not with experiencing the abuse, not with loving the abuser, not with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I honestly have no idea. So.
But that
is my point.
Interesting,
It's an interesting subject that like I would like to explore more, either to find out more about.
Agree.
I think it's very interesting.
I agree.
Okay, guys.
I think that's it.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.